down and you still can't see your dick. Didn't fucking change shit. The reason why you big as fuck in the first place. Literally living a fucking lie. Who the fuck was gonna believe me? To make every fucking day count. YouTube, what's good, man? Welcome to another motherfucking video, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Today we're gonna be talking about how to lose 100 pounds. If you don't know my story, man, I used to be 260 pounds, fat as fuck. Lost over 100 pounds. Used to get made fun of about having a fatter ass than chicks. Chicks would tell me they wouldn't date me because I had a fatter ass than them. I used to struggle with having man titties to a point where I wanted to transform my body as fast as fucking possible, right? And that's what the video will be about today. I'm gonna tell you guys the 5-step guide that you need to lose 100 pounds or lose a good amount of weight super fucking fast, right? And the good thing about this, fellas, this is for motherfuckers who want to lose 100 pounds, right? If you don't need to lose 100 pounds, if you're not morbidly obese or big as fuck, right? You can follow this 5-step process and lose weight fast, right? You don't even need to lose 100 pounds. You may need to lose 20 or 40. It works for everybody, okay? So don't even worry about it, all right? You apply this process, you will look unrecognizable in the next 3 to 6 months. I can assure you, fellas, all right? So let's get into the motherfucking video. The 5-step process, fellas, the number one thing you need to do is have the mirror moment. Basically what the mirror moment is, fellas, is you having that self-conversation, self-reflection session with yourself, letting you know that shit needs to change, right? The problem why we always fat and we stay in the same places is we don't make our situation as bad as it needs to be, right? We think that just because you're the least fattest motherfucker in your group, you're okay, right? But you still fat as fuck. Right, you still big as hell, right? Just because you're the least fattest motherfucker in your friend group, least fattest motherfucker in your family, don't mean you're not fat as fuck, right? You can be a 400-pound motherfucker, and just the rest of your family is 600-700 pounds on the motherfucking TV show, my 600-pound life story, right? Just because you 4 and not 6, don't make shit better, my nigga. It don't make nothing better, right? So we gotta have that conversation with ourselves, fellas. And I remember I had this conversation. I'm gonna post a screenshot right here, fellas. I remember I had this conversation with myself. I posted the picture, right? I was literally taking a picture in the mirror, looking in the mirror, and I looked depressed. I looked sad as fuck, right? Just looked like I was going through it, fellas, because I was having that moment with myself in that time frame, right? I was literally taking a picture. My belly was hanging over my motherfucking pants. I was fat as fuck, unconfident, right? Socially fucking awkward. Couldn't stand to look at myself anymore, honestly, bro. So I'm gonna post a picture right here, fellas. That is the moment where I had that conversation. That's when the moment where I said this shit has to change, right? So the first thing you gotta have is that motherfucking mirror moment, right, fellas? To a point, fellas, where I even took a fucking, I wrote down in my notes app how I was feeling in that moment, right? What needed to change? How I didn't want to stand for this shit any fucking longer, right? And I'm gonna post a screenshot of the note. I actually have it in my phone still, right? It was 2019. I remember it like it was yesterday, fellas, right? I wrote in the note how bad I fucking felt in that moment, how unconfident I was, how I had let myself go, right? And it really helped me to spark the change. It really helped me to just be like, fuck, man, this is bad, right? And like I said earlier, fellas, we tend to make our fucking situation small as we possibly can, because we're trying to hide from the truth, right? The truth is, fellas, you need to make this shit as painful as possible. You need to make this shit bigger than what it is, right? If we keep okaying this shit, if we keep trying to make our situation not as bad as it seems, right? Trying to downplay it. That's when we continue to stay in the same place, right? The moment I started to tell myself, brother, if you don't stop eating like shit, you're literally taking years off your life. You're literally speeding up your fucking death. You're dying a slow death, but at the same time, you're dying a fast death, because you will be dead by the age of 50 if you keep eating like this, right? If you keep eating like this, you keep being big as fuck, you keep not working out, you keep looking like this, brother, you are going to have diabetes. What does diabetes mean? You're going to be sticking a fucking needle in your body every day just to fucking live and act like a normal human being, right? I refuse to have to go through that shit. So I thought about that shit, right? And you have to think about the same thing. You have to stop downplaying your situation, right? You have to understand that if you keep eating like shit, you not working out, you 100 pounds overweight, fat as fuck, right? You have to understand that the moment you start to make this shit bigger than what it is, it's going to create that fucking paranoia. It is going to scare you. Fellas, have you ever seen the motherfucking cigarette commercials where they would literally show the motherfucking people with a hole in their motherfucking throat telling you not to smoke cigarettes because look what happened to them, right? Does that happen to everybody who smokes cigarettes? Fuck no, right? But they showed you the worst situation in that commercial to literally scare you and create that paranoia to not smoke fucking cigarettes because this can possibly happen, right? It is a possibility. How big is the possibility? Who fucking knows? But I know when I seen that shit in school or I seen the motherfucking commercials, I'm never putting the motherfucking cigarettes in my mouth, right? And it was the same fucking way I created about me losing weight. I know that I knew if I keep doing this shit, I was gonna take years off my life. That shit scares me, so I'm not gonna fucking do it, right? I'm putting down eating the bullshit. I'm getting my ass in the gym. I'm doing my fucking cardio. Whatever the fuck I need to do to change my situation, I am doing it because I do not want to fucking die. You have to understand, you only get one of these motherfuckers, right? If you eat your fucking life away like a big fat fuck, right? If you put yourself in a motherfucking hospital bed due to you can't control what the fuck you put in your mouth, you're literally killing yourself as we fucking speak. It has to be that fucking scary. I'm sorry. You have to make it that bad because if you don't, you're going to continue to be in the same fucking position, all right? Now, if you motherfuckers want to stay fat, right? Keep eating the bullshit and die, nigga. I don't care. I could care less, right? You chose that fucking life for yourself. You chose to die at 50. You chose to die at 40. I don't want to die at 50 or 40, so I'm changing what the fuck I need to do, all right? You have to create that same motherfucking paranoia. Part of this process of losing 100 pounds fast, fellas, is you need to gather information, all right? All right, what do I mean by gather information, fellas? You need to have a starting point. You need to have a reference point, right? You can't just jump into this shit not knowing where the fuck you are. You can't just jump into this shit and say, I want to do this, I want to do that, right? Without knowing where the fuck you about to start, all right? So what I mean, when I say gather information, fellas, I gather your weight, right? You need to gather your eating habits. You need to gather why the fuck you weigh, why the fuck are you the way that you are, right? How big are you, right? Be honest. How big are you, right? How big is your motherfucking belly? How much is that motherfucking hanging over your chest or hanging over your motherfucking pants, right? You need to be able to gather this information, fellas. You also need to figure out who it is that you want to fucking become. Why do you want to do this, right? How much weight do you actually want to fucking lose, right? Who do you want to look like? Do you want to train like a bodybuilder or do you want to train like an athlete, right? You have to figure out all of this fucking information, right? So I know when I started, fellas, I knew that I wanted to train like a bodybuilder. Why? Because I knew I wanted cap shoulders, right? I wanted big biceps, right? Most importantly, I wanted to develop my chest. Why? Because I fucking hated having man titties. If you don't know, fellas, when I was fat as fuck, one of the most insecure things I had was man titties, right? I hated that shit. Motherfuckers would come scoop me, right? I literally had C cups like a fucking chick, right? That shit, I hated it, right? I couldn't stand it anymore, right? So I knew when I went in, fellas, that I wanted to develop my chest and I wanted to train like a fucking bodybuilder, right? So that's what I tailored my interest toward when it came to figuring out who the fuck I wanted to become, right? I would watch a lot of bodybuilding style workouts. I would watch a lot of bodybuilding prep videos, right? All of that shit I would consume because I knew eventually that's what the fuck I wanted to get to, right? You have to figure that shit out for you. What do you want to become, right? Maybe you want to be more of an athlete. Maybe you just like running. Maybe you just want to fucking hoop and play basketball. Who fucking knows? You have to gather that information, right? That is why this number 2 is so important because you need to figure out what the fuck you want to do, all right? You've got your weight. Once you've got your fucking eating habits, once you got to, figure out what it is that you want to do activity-wise that is going to get you into better shape, right? You need to write this shit down. You need to open up your notes. You need to get a fucking notepad. Whatever you need to do, it needs to be written down, right? Right? It needs to be fucking written down, right? And the reason why you want to write this shit down, fellas, is because you want to have something that you can refer to when you're trying to start this whole motherfucking process, right? You need to have some good information gathered in order for you to know where to attack this weight loss shit. How am I going to start losing 100 pounds, right? So you need to write this shit down so you remember what the fuck it is that you actually fucking want. Don't just think about it. Don't just put it in your head, oh, I'm going to remember. No, because you're an idiot, right? You're not going to remember that, oh, hey, I'm trying to lose 100 pounds when you pass by the fucking Whataburger and you're like, oh, I really want a triple meat. And you drop through the fucking window and you look down and you still can't see your dick because your fucking belly is hanging over your chest because you didn't fucking change shit. All right? So you need to write this shit down. All right. Another thing you need to do, fellas, what you're doing by writing this shit down is you're literally creating an avatar for yourself down the fucking line, right? What does 100 pounds minus 100 pounds Jalen look like, right? What did he look like? What does he do, right? What are the habits that he has? Who does he want to become like, right? What is the avatar that he wants to become, right? So once you write that down, fellas, I'm also going to give you a fucking equation that you can do with the fucking information that you've gathered, right? So let's say you're trying to lose weight, you need to start with how many fucking calories should I eat, Jalen? Well, I'm gonna give you the fucking equation if you really, really want to lose weight super fast. Is this the most fucking optimal fucking weight loss strategy? Fuck no, but it's gonna get the fucking weight off super fast. Let's say you're 200 pounds, right? All right, fellas, you're gonna take your body weight in pounds, right? And you're gonna multiply it by 10, right? So 200 pounds times 10, fellas, would be 2,000 calories, right? So this is how many calories you would start with eating in a day, right? You would start with 2,000 calories. This will put you in a fucking deficit, right? Now, fellas, if you're fucking morbidly obese, if you're super fucking big, right? I'm not trying to make fun of you niggas, but you ate it. You ate all the bullshit, my guy. I'm not trying to make fun of you, but fuck. You shouldn't be 400 pounds in the first place. You don't do times 10. Because if you do 400 pounds, right? Times fucking 10, that's 4,000 calories. Your big ass don't need to be nowhere near no fucking 4,000 calories, right? That's probably the reason why you big as fuck in the first place, right? So you would take this equation if you're super fucking big and do it by 5. So if you're 300 pounds and above, right? Let's say you're 400 pounds, you times that by 5, that's again 2,000 calories. You'll start there, right? So if you're super fucking big, by 5, if you're in the middle, right, under 300 pounds, you can do it by 10, right? And you can play with this number in between if you really want to dig deeper or whatever. But 10 and 5 is a great starting point so that you're not fucking starving yourself off the muscle, right? But like I said, fellas, once you gather this information, you write it down, you get this equation. This is a great starting point. Let's get on to the next point. All right, fellas, once you've gathered the fucking information, right? Once we've got all the fucking information we need, you put that equation right. Now, the next thing you need to do, action. Right? We'll just title this point action, right? Fellas, you want to take immediate action. You want to act quickly, right? Don't be a motherfucker who got all this information, know all the fucking equations, know exactly how to lose weight. You got all the perfect routine, the perfect diet plan, all that fucking shit that you got all written down in your fucking notes, and you literally just sit on it and don't do a fucking thing, right? Don't be one of those guys. Why? Because what is that going to get you? In the same fucking spot. Nobody cares if you know how to fucking lose weight, calories in, calories out. Everybody knows about that shit, right? The motherfuckers who know about it and the motherfuckers who act on it is two completely different motherfuckers, right? If you actively applying this shit, you're making the progress. If you're just sitting on the information like a fucking geek, right, and telling everybody, well, you should do this way, that way, and you're still fucking fat, what the fuck does it matter if you know the information? I can make 30 videos about fucking calories in, calories out. If you don't fucking do it, what does it fucking matter? You're still gonna be fat as fuck, belly hanging over your pants, and you can't see your fucking dick, you fat fuck, right? So you need to act immediately, right? Once you've gathered this information, you need to put it into fucking action. Go now, start now, stop waiting. There's no perfect time, there's no perfect place, there's no perfect workout, there's no perfect nutrition routine. Right? The perfect thing for you to do is start. All right? Stop being a bitch and stop being lazy and fucking start. All right? Fellas, I remember when I first started my motherfucking coaching business, right? When I first started my coaching business, fellas, I was nowhere near in fucking shape, right? I was on motherfucking video, making all these fitness videos, trying to tell people that fucking I can coach them, and I knew all of this and knew all that. And even though I knew all the information about losing weight, losing fat, building muscle, right, getting in shape, right, I was still out of fucking shape. I was literally on camera telling motherfuckers to put the fork down, and I couldn't even put the fork down myself. Who the fuck am I to tell somebody to put the fork down if I can't even listen to my own fucking advice, right? So what did that ruin, fellas? My lack of inaction, my lack of not acting on the shit that I was speaking killed my credibility. Nobody's trying to fuck with me. Nobody's trying to sign up to my coaching program. I'm fat as fuck. I'm fat, my nigga. I'm big as fuck, right? Who the fuck is gonna listen to somebody who's fat? This is what gets me about you motherfuckers who be online trying to get fitness advice, and you big as fuck. You big as hell, right? Any motherfucker trying to tell you how to lose weight and they super fat talking about they dirty bulking, they're fucking lying. You should never sign up to their fucking program, right? Motherfuckers practice what they preach. Motherfuckers talk the talk and walk the walk at the same time. If a motherfucker not doing that, it's best to run the other fucking way, because that motherfucker has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. And even if he does, he doesn't even know how to fucking apply it himself, right? You gotta have the proof, right? And motherfuckers wouldn't fucking with me because I wasn't putting our shit that I was talking about into action. I was literally living a fucking lie. Who the fuck was gonna believe me, right? Who the fuck was gonna believe me? I promise you. If I'm gonna post a picture when I was posting these motherfucking videos, I was fat as fuck, right? Then versus now, right? I actually have a fucking physique that I'm proud of, and I fucking look like I actually know what I'm talking about, right? Motherfuckers is gonna listen, right? But it all started with me putting in the fucking action. So stop sitting on the information. Stop sitting on the information. For what? Why are you sitting on it? You need to fucking maneuver. You need to put this shit in action. You need to work. You need to put in the fucking work. Big thing with this action shit is what I really want you to get in your head, fellas, is I want you to think about this, the saying that I don't know if y'all ever heard the saying. It's slow motion is better than no motion, right? So what do I mean by slow motion? Right? Basically what slow motion is, fellas, is you're putting in some sort of action, right? You getting into it, right? You may be going to the gym, fellas, only doing 5 push-ups in 5 minutes on the fucking Stairmaster, and you're leaving, right? You may be still be going to Whataburger, but instead of getting the fucking triple meat, you're getting a grilled chicken sandwich, right? I'd take you doing that, fellas, than a motherfucker who knows all the information, knows exactly what kind of proteins he needs to eat, knows he needs to do GMO, non-organic, this and that, and all that other bull dweeb shit that y'all be talking about, right? I'll take a motherfucker who's actually putting in work over the motherfucker who just sitting down talking about what the fuck they gonna do and never fucking do it, right? Slow motion better than no motion. Now, fellas, is 5 minutes of cardio and push-ups gonna move the needle forward? Move the needle super forward? Fuck no, right? You're gonna have to do more than that, right? Is eating a fucking grilled chicken sandwich from Whataburger, other than the fucking triple meat, gonna move the needle super fucking forward? Fuck no. You're probably going to start cooking at home at some point, right? But you're already putting in the fucking action, right? This is why I say slow motion is better than no motion. You practicing these fucking habits, right? You practicing the habit of, let me eat a little bit cleaner. You practicing the habit of, let me just get to the fucking gym and do something, right? That is innately building that motherfucking habit in your head, right? Soon enough, you'll be going to the gym instead of doing 5 push-ups and 5 minutes on a cardio machine. You might add some bench press, right? You might add some motherfucking dips. You might add some motherfucking chest presses. Who knows, right? But it all started with you just going to that motherfucking doing 5 push-ups and leaving, right? It all started with you just going to the Whataburger and getting a grilled sandwich instead of fucking triple meat Whataburger, right? Now you cooking at home. Now you eating your egg whites. Now you got meal prep, right? But it all started with you doing something, right? You're not the motherfucker sitting in the corner, well, I'm not going to drink the diet fucking soda because it still has aspartame in it. Aspartame can kill you, and go drink a fucking Coke and you still drinking sugar and you still fat as fuck, right? Drink the fucking Coke Zero, right? Slow motion, better than no motion, fellas. Let's get to the next point. The fourth step in this guy to losing 100 pounds fast, right, is you need to track everything. Fuck, my handwriting is terrible. I don't care. Holy shit. So, fellas, when I say track everything, right? Eventually, fellas, yes, I want you to take action. Yes, you should be just going to the gym, starting with just doing 5 push-ups, getting in that motherfucker, right? I get it. But, fellas, a plan, an action without a direction will lead to you will hit a wall, right? You will come to a sticking point, right? If you don't have a plan. So what do I mean by sticking point and plan? I'll give you a little story time, fellas. I've had clients join my program, right? And one of the biggest things I emphasize, because nutrition is 90% of this shit, fellas, is you need to track your calories, right? You need to track how much calories you are eating, how much protein you're taking in, and all the other shit, right? And I get a lot of guys who come into the program thinking that just because I give them a fucking chest day workout, that they're magically going to lose their man titties, get a fucking 6-pack abs, right, within the next 12 weeks, right? And then they tend to not track their fucking calories. They tend to skip over the part that's 90% of the work, right? So they don't track their calories. They don't track it all the way. They miss their protein goal. They don't eat enough. They overeat. I don't know what the fuck they ate because they're not logging it, right? And then they come to me fucking 4 or 6 weeks later. Oh, bro, why am I not down to such and such weight, right? And then we just go back and look at their fucking calorie log and see that they're not fucking tracking their calories, right? They're not tracking their calories. So how would I even know how you're not losing weight? How would I even know that why you're not making progress if you're not tracking what the fuck you're doing? How the fuck I'm gonna know if you're getting stronger or not if you're doing a bunch of random fucking weights and you're not tracking your fucking strength levels, right? This is why tracking is so fucking important, right? It's literally like you getting the answers to the fucking test, fellas. It's literally like you have the fucking answer key and you're taking the fucking test and you're just copy and pasting the fucking answers to your test, right? You get 100% because you have the answer key right there. Imagine if you had the fucking answers to losing 100 pounds right in your fucking face. You had all the info, right? And all you had to do was read the info, learn how to take the fucking test of losing 100 pounds, and boom, right? 6-7 months down the line, you're fucking unrecognizable, right? You're him. You've made a fucking transformation, all because you had the fucking answer key. But how do you get the answer key, fellas? You have to track. You have to track everything, right? What do I mean by track? What do you need to track? Fellas, the first thing you need to track, like I said, is your calories, right? How are you going to track your calories? Fellas, you're going to download MyFitnessPal, right? King, everybody knows what the fuck this is, right? If you don't know what MyFitnessPal is, it's literally an app. You're going to put your calorie goals in there, right? It's going to tell you, you're going to put your protein goal, your carb goals, your fat goals, and you're just going to monitor what the fuck you're eating. You're able to scan the barcode if you pay the $20 a month, or if you don't want to pay the $20 a month, you can just enter the food in, everything you eat. It'll literally tell you what the calories and macros in. You log it, right? It gives you a total daily calorie intake, and you just want to stay under the fucking number. So the equation we did earlier, if you're 200 pounds, you're supposed to eat 2,000 calories, right? You want to stay at least 100 calories under that 2,000. So you want to eat around 1,900 calories a day, right? You stay under that, you're going to lose weight, you're going to lose fat, you're hitting protein, you're going to build muscle. It's literally going to make failure in this shit impossible. But what do you have to do? Track the fucking calories, right? The second thing you need to track, fellas, is your workouts, right? You want to be in the gym tracking how strong you are getting if you're strength training, right? Let's say you're not strength training. Let's say you're doing fucking calisthenics. You want to track how many fucking push-ups you did, right? Maybe you did 15 last week. Now you're going to try to go for 16 next week, right? But you need to be tracking how stronger you're getting, because strength, a stronger muscle is a bigger muscle, especially if you're trying to tone your body, fellas, not just lose 100 pounds, but actually look unrecognizable. You want to have a little bit of tone to your body. You want to have a little bit of cut, definition, right? How do you do that? You got to be getting stronger, right? So how are you going to track your workouts, fellas? Just use a notes app, right? Just open your notes apps. Let's say your fucking chest day starts with bench press, right? You're gonna type bench press in your fucking notes, and you started with a 45 on each side, which is 135 pounds. You got it for 8 reps, right? It was a hard 8. That was your last set. Maybe next week you do that same weight. You're trying to shoot for 9 reps. You get 9. The week after that, you get 10. Eventually you get 12, and it seems a little bit easier. That's when you add a little bit more weight, right? The progression shows that you're getting stronger, right? That you're literally able to go back and see the progression of you getting stronger. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, right? But if you wouldn't have had those answers, if you wouldn't have took that note and tracked your strength levels, right? I used to do the same thing, fellas, right? But I used to have a motherfucking logbook. I used to write this shit out. I'd advise you not to do this because it just takes too much time for me to be writing this shit in a notebook. If you want to, you can, but it's easier just to do it in your notes app, right? But I used to have a motherfucking logbook, and I tracked every single motherfucking exercise, every set, every weight, how much I did. Was I -2? Was I +1? Every fucking week. I did that for almost a year, right? And I've got the strongest and the biggest I've ever gotten in my life, right? All because I tracked it. All right. The third thing you want to track, fellas, most importantly, is progress, right? So how do we track progress, fellas? Now, a lot of people's biggest way of tracking progress is the scale. But the scale it can be very, very tricky, fellas, right? Because one day the scale may say one number, the next day it may say another number, and it completely fuck your mind, right? I stopped weighing myself every day because I knew the scale would just fuck my mind up. But I had to realize that the scale is just so wishy-washy. You can eat something high sodium one day and not the next day, right? Who fucking knows, right, what the scale's gonna say on a day-to-day basis. So the biggest thing you're gonna take, fellas, in order to track progress is pics, right? You're gonna take progress pictures, right? You're gonna stand right here. You're gonna move here, raise your hand so you can see your body, fellas. You're gonna stand to the back, right? You're gonna take those pictures every 2 weeks, right? This is gonna give you a visual of if you're getting leaner, right? If you're losing a little bit of back fat, if you get a little bit of definition in your motherfucking self, right? Pictures tell all. I always tell everybody, pictures tell all. This is why you need to be taking consistent progress pictures, because that is the most important thing when it comes to tracking progress, right? If you can visibly see it, right, you know you're going in the right direction. If you take that motherfucking picture and you got a little bit more titty fat than last time, that means your ass been eating too much, right? Pictures tell all, right? So first thing you're gonna track is your calories. You're gonna use MyFitnessPal. Second, you're gonna track your workouts. You can do the shit in your notes or a notebook, whatever you wanna do. The third, you're gonna track pics. And I just showed you how to properly take a fucking progress pic. So that's number 4, fellas. Let's get to the last fucking point. Fifth and final point, the fifth and final guide, step to the guide, fellas. I wanna call it obsessed, right? Obsession, execution. What do I mean by obsession? Fellas, you have to become obsessed with the process of getting to losing 100 pounds, right? You gotta fall in love with the fucking grind. You gotta fall in love with the work. In order for you to transform fast, right? And this is the goal of this video. I don't want you to take 3 years to lose 100 pounds. I want you to do this shit fast, fellas. Success loves speed. And in order for you to do this shit fast, fellas, you have to make every fucking day count. Every workout matters. Every set matters. Every meal matters. Every macro matters. Every step matters. Everything fucking matters. You have to treat it like it's fucking do or die, fellas. When I got into probably the best shape of my life, fellas, at the time, I was working 2 jobs. I was working 16 hours a day, right? I was only sleeping about 4 to 5 hours a night. And the rest of my time was devoted to trying to get either getting a workout in, getting a cardio in, or meal prepping, right? That was one of the most stressful, time-consuming times of my life when I had 2 jobs, right? Had to do what I had to do. But I was in the best fucking shape. Why? Because, fellas, I was obsessed with the fucking work. I love the feeling of only getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep, tired as fuck, getting up out of bed, still going to work, still going to the gym, still hitting my macros. I love the fucking grind. I loved it. I fell in love with the pain. I fell in love with the suck, right? I embraced it. I loved this shit, right? I became obsessed with the fucking process of executing to get into my fucking standards, right? I became obsessed with it. I fell in love with it, right? Every fucking day, even when I didn't feel like it, even when I was fucking tired, even when I didn't want to do it, I knew where the fuck I was trying to go. And fellas, I've never been in that good of shape since that time period, right? I've never gotten back to that level of leanness, right? It was because I was locked the fuck in. I was obsessed, right? That's all I care about. I went to work, I went to the gym, went to sleep, meal prepped, and then did it all over again for a year straight, almost a year straight. And I lost 60 pounds in about 8 months. Completely changed my physique. Right. So fellas, how was I able to execute? All right, I can easily come on here and just tell you like, oh, well, you got to fall in love with the process. No, fellas, there's a way to fall in love with the process. This is how you fall in love with the process, right? Fellas, I follow something called a power list. So basically, fellas, what a power list is, and I'm going to post a screenshot of my power list on the fucking video, right? It's literally a list of high leverage tasks that you need to do in order to get to a certain standard that you're trying to become, or a certain person you're trying to become, right? So you're trying to lose 100 pounds, right? Right? 100-pound power list. What would a 100-pound loss power list look like, right? Obviously every day, right? Train. And what did I say earlier? Track your workouts. Track it, right? So number 1 thing on your power list, you need to train every day, right? Boom, you did that. The second thing you probably need to do, right? You need to hit your macros every day. Like I said, what do? Hit our macros, right? To a T, right? That'll be the second thing on your power list, right? The third thing we want to do, fellas, I know one of the biggest things of losing weight and losing fat, you got to be able to create a calorie deficit. How do we do that? We can do that through cardio. So we're going to do 30 minutes every day, right? All right, whatever kind of fucking cardio you want to do, it could be playing basketball or treadmill, right? We're going to do 30 minutes of cardio every day. So my power list right now is train, hit my macros, 30 minutes of cardio. How else we're going to help us lose 100 pounds? We got to be more active, right? 10K steps a day. All right, so I got to hit 10K steps every day, right? So my power list is train, macros, 30 minutes, 10K fucking steps, right? And one more thing, right? What do we got to do? Another thing, a lot of y'all have a bad habit of drinking bullshit, right? Water only. This is still on my power list, right? Water only, fellas. So our power list would add water only. This means that the only fucking thing we're drinking is water or like black coffee or some shit like that, right? Fellas, if you do these 5 things, this is how I gamified my life. A lot of you motherfuckers like to play video games and GTA. Make a fucking game out your fucking life, fellas. So this is how I gamified my life, fellas. I love video games too, right? I made sure I trained every day, hit my macros, 30 minutes of cardio, 10,000 steps, water fucking only. What did all of this lead to, fellas? I lost 100 pounds, right? But I wasn't focused on losing 100 pounds. I was focused on hitting these fucking standards every day, hitting this powerless every day, because I knew if I hit this every day, the 100-pound loss was inevitable, right? So I played a game with myself, right? How many fucking days can I win, right? And I'm in a mentorship right now, fellas. I literally have a power list for this content shit, right? How many videos do I need to post a week? I need to post 3 videos a week. How many shorts do I need to get up per day? I need to post 3 shorts a day, right? I still need to drink water only. I still got to work out, right? That is all on my power list, right? My power list now is making valuable content to help you motherfuckers out. This is why I'm right here filming this video, right? I got to make 3 of these a week. You know what I'm saying? But it all starts, I know exactly what I need to do because I've gotten a power list, right? These are parameters I need to hit every day. If I do this every day, it's the inevitable is going to happen. This content is going to get to motherfuckers and help them and completely change their lives, right? That's the motherfucking standard I'm trying to get to. But if I don't make the video, I'm not going to get to the standard. If you don't do these things when it comes to losing 100 pounds, you're not going to lose 100 pounds. But I'm not focused on losing 100 pounds. I'm focused on tracking. Focus on training, hit my macros, 30 minutes of cardio every day, water only, right? I'm focused on doing that. And if I can win every fucking little day, if I can win every little battle, check that off the list every day. When you win days, you can win the week. When you win the week, you win the month. And when you win the month, you win fucking years. And then you look up in about 7 to 8 months, not even a year, 100 pounds gone. Boom. You look like a motherfucking Greek god. You're shredded, lean as fuck. Wow, you're fucking him, right? You are him. Now you're him, right? Now she want to slide in your DMs. Now they coming after you, right? Now you ain't got to approach them, right? Now you're that guy, right? But it's all because you hit the fucking power list, right? It's all because you focused on this, right? Like I said, you motherfuckers love to play video games. Treat this like a video game and watch how you completely change your fucking life. I promise. I promise. Fuck GTA, fuck Mortal Kombat. Do this. And I promise you will completely become unrecognizable, right? So the last point, fellas, is you need to become obsessed with execution, right? How do you do that? Hit the fucking power list. Make your fucking power list today. Whatever goals whatever fucking things you want to set, write it down, put it in your fucking notes app, and make sure you do those things every fucking day. No excuses, right? So for you to lose 100 pounds fast, right? The first thing you need to do is have a mirror moment, right? Have that fucking talk with yourself. Hey, this shit has to change. The second thing you need to do, fellas, is you need to gather the info, right? Once you gather the info, right, you're able to make the plan so that you can execute, which is number 3. You need to act immediately. Act with speed. Success loves speed, fellas. You need to put the shit into action, right? After you put this shit into action, right, the 4th thing you need to do is track everything that you fucking do. Tracking is important. Track your calories, track your workouts, track everything, right? And then the last and final thing, fellas, you need to become obsessed, right? Once you tie all these things in together, you become obsessed with doing the daily fucking work. Success is inevitable. You losing 100 pounds is inevitable. You're going to come back 6, 7, 8 months later, look like a completely different nigga. You are going to be him. I can guarantee you, right? But you have to do all 5, fellas. Thank y'all boys for tapping in. That'll be it for the video. I'll catch y'all on the next one.